Shut up, your shirt is loud. Welcome back, guys. 3 weeks-ish, and I'm happy to be back. Thanks for tuning in. Let's see, since my last update, kids started school last Monday. I know some of you guys, when I posted that on my IG, were like, that's starting early. So here in Arizona, the boys actually get out of school like the last week of May. So yeah, about 2 months. Of those 2 months, I think we traveled like 6 of those weeks, which made the summer go by tremendously fast. It was really, really nice. So when we got back into town last, rewind. So if you guys have followed me, I'm very raw and real on my channel, and I shared with you 3 months ago, a little over 3 months ago, my grandfather passed away. I was by his side when it happened, and we were leaving a few days later for Miami. And the day we were leaving for Miami was when he was going to be interned. So, not sure what that is. He was not buried in the ground. He wasn't cremated. He was placed in one of those walls. And so they call it internment. I was not, or interned. I was not able to be there when it happened, but everyone decided we would get together end of summer and do like a celebration of life for my grandfather. So when we were actually in Tahoe, we made all the reservations so then we could go up to be there for it. It was absolutely amazing seeing how many people got together. And yeah, it was just a really good time. I got up and said, it was at my aunt's house. And so my aunt left it up to me to kind of wrangle 50-some people together to sit around my grandmother. Perfect person to do it. And my aunt said some words and kind of talked about his life. My grandma said some words, I said some words, another person did. It was kind of like open floor, say whatever you want. This light, holy Jesus. Let's turn it down. Absolutely fantastic. Flew back last Monday morning. Boys were a couple hours late to school, and as soon as we landed, we drove straight to the school for the boys to start 4th and 5th grade. So yeah. Any trips planned? Of course. You know, I got my passport. So tons of options right there. Going to be in Vegas the beginning of September with a girlfriend. So yeah, that should be fun. What else? I made notes. Notes. You want me to show you guys my finishes? I've had 2 finishes since, okay, like 1.5. We're still working on the one that I'll talk about. I finished stitching Stitch Goddess. This is from Tiny Modernist, and I finished this last month. I decided not to fill in her dress. Half stitches were not going to look good. did not want to do full X's. And so I thought not stitching her kind of gave her, or not filling in her dress, gave her sort of a etheric, what is the word that, etherical? No. You know what I'm saying. You know what word I'm trying to, but just kind of a floating, magical, dainty sort of look. This fabric was actually out of a deceased stitcher's stash. If you guys remember, a little over a year ago, I went and picked up from her son her stash, and this fabric was in it. And when I was going through things, I absolutely fell in love with it. It's a Aida, I think it was like 16 count, and I think it just went really, really well. I used the called for colors, and I stitched the brunette version. The only thing I changed, the spool, I did red étoile. I outlined her dress and just left it as is. I finished it on a canvas, and if you go back to 1 or 2 videos, I show you how I do a canvas finish. I had a little extra room down at the bottom. I had pulled it up too far when I was trying to center it, and so I realized that after the video, and so I had a piece of lace in my stash. So all I did, didn't glue it down, I attached it with my nail gun and just have it taut all the way across and stapled here. And yeah, I think that's really, really pretty. Really happy how it turned out. Now my half finished piece, you guys have been following me on IG, Stitching in Sequins. Long time ago, I stitched Beasties by Courtney Collection. I got about halfway through it and decided I'm over it. So definitely a product stitcher. I want to stitch things that I want to see up on my wall. Completely love this piece, but decided I was over stitching it. I found a stopping point, and when I looked at it, I decided that it didn't really lend itself well to being framed, and I wanted to do something with it than just framing it. So in my closet, I have a couple pieces that I've not fully FFO'd hanging on like pant or shirt clips, because then they stay nice and flat and not in a drawer. So here is, let's start this way. This is what I stitched. This is Beasties from Courtney Collection, right? And I was having a conversation with Arlene Cohen and we were talking about drums. I had sent this drum, this was 1, 2, 3, 4 like little blocks of a long dog sampler piece that I did that I decided I was over. I sent this to a friend, she turned it into a drum. Absolutely love it. I watched Vonna Pfeiffer's tutorial on how to make a drum. I knew the top, if you guys have watched her tutorial, attaching the top and the bottom would drive me batshit crazy. So I wanted to do a drum ghetto style, trying to take the top and bottom work out of it, something simpler. I also know this is a ridiculous size. It's like 12 inches for a drum. Where's the drum police though? So where I'm at right now, decline. So where I'm at right now, let me talk about the structure of it. So this that you see here is from Hobby Lobby. It was a paper mache wine box like this. And it came with a string, and you could put a wine in it, and you could like decorate the box. It so happened to be the perfect height and circumference that I needed for this piece. So went to Hobby Lobby, grabbed it. I followed the first couple steps of Vanna's tutorial on drum making, used my sewing machine to make the sleeve, if you will, slipped it over the paper mache. This is just some ribbon that I happen to have that I really liked. And then the top, when I was putting the sleeve on, my arm went through it, and I actually punched out the bottom closed part of the container. So I took that circle that was down here, I did batting on it and covered it with a gray piece of fabric that matched the close enough of the thread that I used, and I pushed it up through the inside of the box, the container, the cylinder, because it on top, I did not like the look of it. I like the look of it coming up through the box. So I say that this is halfway done because I need to find some sort of cording to go around. Not too thin, not too thick, something in the middle that will complement, and I will probably also attach it down here at the bottom. I'll probably close it off as well because I have the lid, and so I could cut that out and attach it and seal it off by using the bottom. Or I'll just add the cording and call it done. So what you see here is the serged edge of the fabric. So that's how much I had brought it down. It doesn't bother me. I don't have an issue with it. You can see a little bit of it here. But yeah, this is my giant ass drum. There's no rules on how big. Stitch a sampler and make it into a drum, okay? I can't frame everything. Been watching Danielle, or we'll leave it up there. That's a great place for it. Danielle Stitcherista, and she has recently got back into stitching, and she makes these weekly vlogs, and she was talking about, you know, I'm running out of wall space. I stitch and I do these pieces and I get them framed, but where am I supposed to put them? Yes, I could rotate them, but then you have to store those, and then you may forget about them or they get damaged, right? I've only been stitching seriously for, what? I think this is my 4th year, and I get over 50 finishes a year. Oh, I do have another finish. I will have to insert a photo. That was number 25 already of this year. So I'm running out of wall space too in my office, and that's why I did those shelves because I can stack them up more. I might just become this drum person and just make everything into a drum. Stay tuned. All right, so we'll talk about my other finish. So I have two and a half finishes. For my grandma, I wanted to make something for her regarding my grandpa. I first had stitched this is the DMC collector's box with the full set of DMC. I did a review on this. Go back a couple videos. I had back stitched actually his kind of last words. Well, it's been a beautiful life. You can't live forever. Maybe too morbid for some people to receive a gift of someone's last words. So since I was up in Washington a few days before his death and hanging out with family who came to visit him, one of the last times that he was definitely aware, my grandma and him have a song called Storms Never Last, really old country song, and played it, and I secretly recorded it. And so I thought I'll take some lines of that song, stitch them up, do his photo, and present that to her. I absolutely fell in love, and you guys did too. Thank you so much for your kind comments and suggestions, because I did put up on IG photos that I should use. I wasn't really sure. So one of the photos that was up for vote was this one. There was my grandfather, my grandma. This was taken a few years ago. So I'll show you the final product here. In love with everything. So I had just a few days to figure out what to do. So I ended up just back stitching the words, which I absolutely loved. What's going on with this? What's this? Backstitch the words, and then that black and white photo that you see I took years ago when I was up in Washington at their house, and I was taking pictures of both of them without them even knowing, because I wanted a very relaxed look. And when this sort of idea came into my mind, I was like, okay, I need to find that photograph because that will be absolutely perfect. She loved it. She even took it with her to put on display at the memorial. At my aunt's house, it was like a life lunch, and she had brought it up and put it on display. So that is my 25th finish for 2021. All right. Thrift store finds this shirt. I mean, I don't know what to say about the shirt. It's just ridiculous, right? But I love it too. It's fun. It's funky. Picked up some frames because I did take Stitch Goddess with me in case I did find a frame and I didn't. And then I was like, oh, I should do a canvas finish. So where I go in Arizona here, Deseret Industries, best selection of frames and prices. So yeah, I'm popping out the picture. $2 for this frame. absolutely incredible. Really, really nice. Hanging hardware on the back. I need to stop buying frames. So I got a collection up the wazoo. And since I'm like so like not anti-frame, I'm just running out of space, you would think, girl, you should not be buying frames. This one was $3. Like, do you know how freaking expensive this would be? Look at this. Look at this frame. And it's like, this is raised. So I need to find something to put in here. I need to go through my patterns and make it happen. All right. Shop update. Oh my goodness. Excuse me. 1884 shop update. I lost my mind yesterday. And because I lost my mind, you guys benefit. So, you guys know I have a section on my website that is all $2 charts. $2. Well, that's $2, right? I lost my mind. So guess what? All my $2 charts are half price. That's right, $1. So, pause my video here, go shop, I'll package it up. I send out all orders within 24 hours. And yeah, get these dollar charts out of here, making room for new things. My 1884 silks from Vicki Clinton are on blowout sale. If you have never stitched with silks, head on over and grab some. And I have a number of the colors. You can get 50 yards for less than 30 bucks. Yes. I also have fabric by Catherine. It's from Russia, only person in the US that stocks it. 30% off Fabrics by Catherine. You can find all those tabs, the $2 charts, Fabrics by Catherine, in 1884 silks, only on 1884stitchery.com, and look at the tabs up at the top of the website. Besides stitching, which I will show you what I've been working on, I've been diamond painting. Yes, diamond painting. Here is my canvas. I was attracted by the bright colors. It's like an ocean scene, abstract. Here are the fishes up here. And I kind of work my way down. If I see enough of a color or a symbol, then I know I could use the whole bag. I'll just do all that color. So I've done about half of it. Let's see, yeah. And I think it's really, really cool. So it's a nice little break. All right. What have I, oh my gosh, I need another cup of hot chocolate coffee. What have I been working on? Was this a new start? I mean, it's a new start. I don't know if you've not seen it. I didn't, because I have definitely started this within the last 3 weeks of my last video. So I am using the called for colors. This is from Paradise Stitchery, Lion and Lace. You guys know I love finding these charts and stitching on charts that no one else is working on. So Paradise Stitchery, Lion and Lace. And I'll just take it out of the hoop. I've been on a hoop kick kick like the last year. I think I'm over Q snaps. I think what I need to do, one is, I think I prefer holding a circular instead of square. And I feel like if I'm tight on fabric margin, it's hard to keep the fabric taut in a Q-snap, where it's so much easier with hoops. Okay, so this is where, smooth it out. Yeah, that's how I smooth it out. So here is where I am at. This is all, I think, what, 939, the dark blue color. Love the little motif, super, super cute. The little owl on the moon. And then what's interesting, there's also some backstitch, black work, blue work, that is incorporated into this, which I think is really, really cool. This here is the start of the floral wreath all the way around. So yeah, I wonder if this would fit into the gold frame. But then this color with the gold may clash. We'll figure it out when we get there. But yeah, I went to town the first couple days with that and got a lot of progress on that. Next, I worked on, this is a release I would like to get out this year, but it just hasn't spoken to me, but it spoke to me the other day, and I put in stitched in 5.5 letters. Let me hold it up and show you. You guys remember this? So I need to finish out that line, and then there's a whole nother 4 lines of text, and these words are from a sampler that I purchased, loved the words, and wanted to recreate it. And yeah, so look for this hopefully sometime this year. But yeah, that would look really cool in the gold frame. Everything would look good in the gold frame. All right, I started this not too long ago. I took this on the plane with me. Oh my God, someone give me some coffee or I need to take a nap. This is Stitching Spell. And no, that is the name of the Etsy store. Stitching Spell. Here's what it looks like. And there's no name for this, but I call it the Halloween Skull Sampler. How cool would this be, a drum? Or in the gold frame. I'm stitching this on some random piece of fabric, I think. Do I have it written down? I do, 32 count Stormy Night. And I'm using one color, 801 brown color. And here is where I'm at. I've been taking this a lot to go pick up the boys last week at school. So car stitching, holy moly, that took me a long time. And I love the skull here, really cool. So yeah, and then there's the letters that are kind of sprinkled throughout the whole thing. And then these are like skull bats sitting upside down, I like to say. So yeah, it's gonna be a biggie, but this is really nice. One thread, one color, when I want to stitch, and the little motifs are nice too. Being up in Washington, when my aunt was talking about my grandpa, she had mentioned that my grandpa's favorite holiday, Christmas. I am trying to like Christmas again. Not love it. I don't think I'll ever love Christmas. Tolerate it. Growing up, my mom would go all out with decorating the house for Christmas. Multiple Christmas trees, our staircase. She would decorate the whole house, lights inside and out. Family drama a few years ago on Christmas kind of soured everything. And also how people react around Christmas. Entitled, I want this. Commercials starting, how you have to just buy. And it's just like kind of shoved down your throat. And I find it really fucking annoying. So Christmas kind of has a sour note with me. But with the kids, Joe's like, you know, you don't have to get over the drama that happened on Christmas years ago. But realize that the boys like Christmas, the magic of it, and to not sour that because you feel that way. So I try every year to not be so bah humbug about it. And so this year I'm really gonna try to be, and learning that it was my grandpa's favorite holiday, to kind of take that as a sign and okay, first Christmas without my grandpa, let's restart, let's do Christmas, everything about it, in honor of him. When I was up in Washington and we went to my grandparents' house, my grandpa years and years ago would cut wood to use in their home. They had a wood burning fire. It's not a fireplace, it's like a standalone stove. They have heat for their home, but they would also do the bring in wood kind of aesthetic. And I loved that. And my grandpa would chop his own wood. And so in a covered shed, there is still wood stacked up that my grandpa stacked, cut by him. And I took a piece. Luckily, I had taken my grandma's gift up in a padded envelope, so this piece of wood fit perfectly in it, so I would not get bark and dirt all in my suitcase. So fits perfectly. So I have this piece of wood that my grandpa chopped years and years ago, And I know I went out to IG to ask for comments, got some fabulous suggestions on what to use. And I could always get my hands on more of these logs, absolutely. So I thought Joe could make slices of them, drill a hole, use some string, twine, DMC rope, and then on the sliced cut of wood, stitch some Christmas ornaments. Stitch them for the boys, so they have like a little memento that, hey, Christmas was a favorite holiday of Papa's, and here is a slice of wood that he cut down. Don't have that many Christmas ornament designs. However, when I go to Vegas, you know I'll be going to Stitcher's Paradise. That will be one of my things to look for, Christmas ornaments. I did have this. This is from Barbara Anna, Santa and Reindeer. It's the pattern, but I can show you. There's the design. So I'm looking for, you know, small enough designs so I can stitch them either on fabric and then back them with like an interfacing to make it a little more oomph, or on perforated paper too. I would be willing to do. I definitely like a old world Santa look rather than the nowadays kind of Santa. So this is from Prairie Schooler, book number 53. This is Santa Moon. These might be a little big, but depending on what size fabric I stitch them on, they'd be small. I love this, the blue one. So I have these out to pull thread and start working on them when the time comes. Maybe I'll start these on the 22nd of the month. 22nd will be 4 months since his passing. I think that would be a great little start. On the 20th of this month will be the 2-year anniversary of my dad's passing. Not sure how that time has gone by so fast. And I know you guys out there that have lost parents say that, oh, you know, my mom or dad died 20 some years ago, don't know where the time went. I'm like afraid of it being 10 years or 15 years or 20 years since his passing. I don't know, that just scares me that it's, and then the day that it comes that it's like 35 years since his passing, because that will be half of my, I was 33 when he died, so I dread that day too when it's 33 years since his passing. So, but that's reality. You have, just like people, you have birthdays every year and anniversaries come around of the good and the bad. But yeah, blown away that it's already 2 years this month. I am planning on getting his memorial piece that I stitched him professionally framed up. So I need to do a little more research on where I can take that so it does not get messed up. Let's talk State Fair. So the State Fair here in Arizona, because it is so flippin' hot, is always scheduled for later in the year, the month of October. Yes. Definitely plan to enter pieces. I know I said it, that my ATM at the Met, Mira, would be entered. Just not feeling her. I have so much black to fill in, which it's like, oh, it's black. You can just sit there and zone out and just stitch black. Great. But yeah, she's not talking to me. So I'm not putting her away. I can always see her when I'm stitching. And it's like, finish me. Put some thread in me. But she will not be a contestant this year for the State Fair. What do I plan on entering in the State Fair? No clue. I need to go through I need to look at everything and then flip it over and see what... I mean, I know what I've entered before, but if I want to enter in like some older stuff, any of these I want to enter? No. I'll probably put in my I Love You to Death piece. I will probably enter... Don't I have like some... Maybe my spells piece with the witch? I'm gonna have to start because I did get an email the other day about when it'll be open and the location, so I definitely need to start thinking and coming up or looking through my patterns and seeing if I want to stitch anything for this year coming up. My drum will go in. Probably not my big ass drum. All right, last thing. Yep, last thing. I haven't done this for a couple videos showing you guys past FFOs, past things that I have stitched up. Last year, I finished this piece, Medieval Mermaid by Midsummer Night Designs. 40 count fabric. I used silk, Gloriana silk, some, I forget what gray color, but it gave it a great variegated, light variegated look. This frame was a thrift store frame, and I love how there's just a slight extra on the sides, a little bit on the sides, but nice and tight at the top and bottom. I really, really love how this came out. This color of the frame was originally, it's like a brown color. No, it was gold. It was gold. But I loved the like wooden detail on the corner, and you can see some of the gold. So I just grabbed some gray spray paint and lightly went over it. I kept some of the gold. Yeah. And finished it off. There we go. That way. Another piece. Was this like one of my first ones? yeah, this is from 2017. This is Lion by Stitchery von der Weinberg. You guys remember this? I like started this and then everybody went like batshit and had to find the charts and went crazy for it. I know D, I'm talking about you. Yeah, I got this professionally framed. And I entered this in at the fair. And I think I just got like a participation ribbon. I don't want to talk about it. Used the called for, let's go closer, called for DMC colors on it. Super, super cool. Yeah. So that's the lion. And then this was a few years back too. This was 17 also. This is Viva la Frida by the Snow Flower Diaries. You can find this on Etsy store. I remember I stitched this, or I finished it up while we were on vacation in California, and I really, really liked doing it. Roses, Frida with her monkey. So yeah, finished this off in a frame. This I framed by myself and I did padding on it, which I love. So I need to remember to do that if I stitch anything without glass, to do the padding. Yes, don't be afraid to frame things up without glass. Oh, they're gonna get dusty and blah, blah, blah. Guess what? It's called a lint roller, okay? And if your stitches are good and tied off or tucked under, when you do a lint roll of them, they won't pop out. So that is it, you guys, for this video. Questions, comments, concerns, throw them down below and I will answer them. Thank you guys so much for watching.